Hello everybody, this is Johnny S with another vlog. In today's video I've got an announcement to make, which is a little bit counter to what I've been saying. And I don't know if I'm going to follow through with it. I might need your help. Lately I've been having a thought of going to a 1000cc little bike. Yes, you heard it right. Why am I having this thought? We'll get into it. Should I be having this thought? Please do let me know, perhaps in the comments. You can tell me if you think if you're all for it, if you're all against it. And I'll give a little bit my burping fart. I'll give my thought process of why I've gone down, why I'm having these thoughts lately. It's not something definite, it's a thought that I'm having. And if you want, you can leave in the comments, are you for it, are you for against it? So, okay, a little bit of a backup. Here's the reason why I'm saying it's counter to what I've said previously. At the moment, I've got a 2006 Yamaha R6 2006 bike. For those who have seen my channel, they know this. I have this bike for many years. Meaning that I think I have the bike for around 14 years, 14, 15 something years. 6 of those years were not fully driving the bike, fair enough. It was put on the side. But no matter what, I do have the bike for a long time. As far as driving experience goes, I've got a little bit more than 15 years. So I had previously to my R6 another bike, which was a Kawasaki Z750 2004 model. And the bike that you see me now at the moment is my wife's bike. Yes, she is a biker. I know it's a rare species, but she is a biker. And it's a Kawasaki ER 6N 650cc. So these are the bikes that I've owned or that I've driven in a daily basis, let's say. Now, what have I driven besides those? I have been on other bikes. I have been on 1000cc bikes. I've driven the BMW K1300S, which is like a sport version of the BMW, non-boxer agent. But when I say driven to all those bikes, I mean driven as in a small distance. To be more precise, on the BMW bike, for example, we're going for a nice ride in Greece, and my friend that had this bike kind of pulled over on the highway, and he goes to me, let's walk. So I gave him the R6 and he gave me his BMW. But this type of driving I do not consider having an experience, you know what I mean? I took that bike for a specific amount of distance, maybe a couple of kilometers. We pulled over to the side a little bit further down, and that was it, you know what I mean? So you don't know exactly what the bike feels like on a turn. You don't really, know. And the other thing to mention also is, I hope you can hear me because it's very windy today. The weather is weird. It looks as if it's going to rain. And the other thing that obviously when your friend gives you a bike, it depends on the person, but usually when a friend gives me their bike, I'm very you know, very moderate onto it. I'm not going to do the things that I will do if I had a, you know, a test bike, a different type of test bike, let's say. It also depends, you know what I mean. That friend that he gave me his BMW was a newly bought bike, you know what I mean. So I was more, yeah, I didn't open it up a lot, I didn't do this, I didn't do that. So if you ask me, have you driven a 1000 and above cc bike? Yes. Do you know what? Like, are you confident that you understand what a 1000 cc bike entails? I will say no. I have not driven enough so that I can acquire some sort of experience as far as the handling goes, the behavior and so forth. Okay, so under that sense, I'm kind of new to it. So that's one driving factor, you know what I mean. Also another thing is that if I do go for a 1000cc liter bike, it's going to be difficult to get a test drive experience. And if you do get test drive experience, it's not going to be exactly like, you know. Give me one moment. We'll go through the toll gates and we'll pick up our topic of discussion. One moment. And we're back. So one of the thoughts that I had, like I said, is it's going to be difficult for me to test drive a 1000cc bike. And even if you do test drive the bike, you're not going to be able to get experience and feel, let's say, as confident as I would like to feel, because it's just going to be a test drive. Very, very windy today. Anyway, and I think on the naked bikes, such as my wife's, it's much more difficult for you to hear me, because the aerodynamics, even though the fairing seems higher than the R6, the way that the naked bikes are designed, it doesn't have such an ergonomic, like a good airflow. So even though you put a fairing and it might be higher and stuff, because the overall design of the bike is not aerodynamically designed, usually even if the fairing comes as higher, I still feel the air here. Whereas my R6 fairing is a little bit low, but if you put your hand on this specific thing, you can't feel it. Anyway, that's off the topic. So yeah, that's one of the thoughts that I'm having, is that, you know, will I be able to have a proper understanding of what it's like to have a 1000cc bike, and on a daily basis? I think not. Again, if you want to leave some comments from people that do have this bike, I am very curious, you know, I mean, I'm thinking about it, I would like to, I'm excited, but simultaneously I am skeptical, you know what I mean. I am skeptical on whether I should do it or not. Another factor in my mind, and why in the past I have said I'm not going to go for a CC bike, is I really do love the shape of the R6. To me, I think it's one of the best looking bikes, you know what I mean. If we're going to compare brand by brand, I will say that my R6 looks better than most similar year R1s, you know what I mean. I would rather my R6 looks be on the R1 and the R1 on the R6, but unfortunately we can't have it all, you know what I mean. So that's another reason why I'm a little bit skeptical, let's say, of do I really want to go for a 1000cc bike if it's going to be something that aesthetically it's not going to be superior to what I have at the moment. So that's another factor which is holding me back. Simultaneously, I noticed that I'm starting to doing things on my R6 which are aimed to increase power and performance. One of the examples that I can give is the gear ratio. I've changed the gears, I've minused a tooth from the front gear, and I've added 2 teeth on the back gear. That is something that has increased the acceleration and the feeling of power, let's say. The bike can wheelie much more easier without you trying to, so it has become a lot more aggressive. And because I'm a type of person that is mostly drawn to, let's say, the acceleration. That, you know, that feeling of adrenaline is much more awesome to me than, you know, high speeds. So I think I'm starting to do things on the bike, and I don't want to go fucking stupid. I'm gonna say it as simple as that. The next step, if I was to upgrade the R6, will be to go for a power commander, probably ECU flash. Like, I'm going to start doing things on the R6 which I'm not really for it. Starting to fuck around with the ECU and all that, I'm not for that. I'm not all for that. Some people might say that, yeah, dude, why not? So I noticed that I'm starting to kind of wanting more power, to keep it simple, okay? Regardless of the methodology, I'm noticing that I'm looking for modifications which will increase the power. Now, besides the cost and besides all those things and whether I'm for it or not, another thought is, will it become to the stage that I want it to be? Possibly no. How much more power are you going to get on the R6 with the power commander? How much more power are you going to get with the full exhaust system? How much more power are you going to get with all these things that I'm saying? I don't think you will ever get your 600cc bike to be even close to what a 1000cc bike will be, a little bike. So if I'm going to pay a lot of money, if I'm going to go in the process of, you know, modification, and in some cases modifications which you start fiddling around with the ECU causes many problems many times, I don't know if it's worth it, you know what I mean? I don't know if it's worth it. You might as well just put the money on the side, save your money, and just go straight away for a 1000cc bike and be done with it, you know what I mean? That's what's in my mind, and that's what I'm saying. Maybe I should just go for a 1000cc bike, you know what I mean? It's the fact that I'm starting to, you know, fuck around. I'll put it as simple as that. Fuck around with shit on the R6, and I don't want to go fucking, you know, retard, full retard.
Everybody knows you never go full retard.
You know, if I'm going to start doing changes, so that's my thought process, guys. There's not much more that I want to mention. I'm having this thought. If you like on the comments, you can say yeah, no. If you do have a 1000cc bike, or if you have some experience on the matter and you know what it's like to have a 1000cc bike and a 600 Super Sport, you know, that can also be helpful. You can let me know and say, you know, I had this and this bike, and then I went to this and this bike. In general terms, if I do go for a 1000cc bike, it's going to be more closer to the older cc bikes, which means much more close to the years of my R6. My R6 is a 2006 model, so we're talking about those type of models. We're not talking about 2010 and after, you know, 2012. Those bikes, because of the price, they're a lot more expensive. I don't have the money at the moment to do this type of change, so I'm looking to upgrade to a 1000cc bike without having a great cost on my wallet, to keep it simple. And in order for me to do that, it means I have to stick around the years similar to my R6, possibly go 1 year down, like GSXR 1000 K5, which I know they're good bikes, but it is 1 year older than my 2006 model. So yeah, I don't know. I'm thinking about it. I'm thinking about it because I noticed that I'm starting to do things which, you know, I'm not really, I think I'm gonna waste a lot of money in order to achieve minuscule differences. And if I'm getting used to it, you know. Another thing to keep in mind for all those that would like to recommend something is as I explained, my driving history. Keep in mind that it's not I'm not someone that has no idea of what a super sport bike is like. This silly bitch. I'm not somebody that doesn't have an idea of what a super sport bike is. What do I mean by that? I mean that the R6 is a 110 horsepower on the wheel, okay, braking horsepower machine. It is a 50 Newton meters of torque. It has a modification of -1 plus 2 gears, a lot more acceleration. So it is a fast bike. It's a super sport machine. It's also one of the most aggressive super sport machines. That's another thing to keep in mind. What the fuck? So it's one of the more aggressive super sport machines, both seat wise, both many wise. So it's not someone that has not driven a super sport, you know what I mean? And another thought across my mind is that, okay, dude, you've got the R6 for 14 years. How long are you gonna fucking keep it? I mean, unless I become an old bastard and I can't fucking drive anything, then I'm gonna go straight away to something much more comfortable, you know what I mean? Like a naked bike. But if I do go for a naked bike at some point of time, because of body limitations and so forth, if that happens, okay, and I have never bought in my life a 1000cc bike, I think I'm going to regret it. You know what I mean? If my career is going to consist of ER6N, Kawasaki Z750, R6, and then a naked bike, somebody will say, you know, you're a fucking idiot. Like, you got all those bikes and you actually went to the 600 class of super sport, so you went close to it, you didn't go for a 1000cc bike. I don't know, that's what I'm saying. There's a lot of thoughts. It's a nice sort of happy thought that I'm having. I'm kind of excited in the sense that, like, fuck, goddamn, can you imagine me on a 1000cc bike? Whoa, what will it be like? New experience, you know, I mean, obviously. Simultaneously, there is a danger component, and I'm thinking, like, oh, fuck, are you going to be able to withhold yourself from doing stupid shit? Then again, another thought is, hold on a second, you got an R6 2006 more fucking modified, you know what I mean? Like, and you're doing wheelies on the R6 and you're doing stupid shit. You're gonna go more spastic. Like, okay, it's not as if you got a dead thing and you're gonna go straight away into something which is going to be unmanageable for you, you know what I mean? So that's another thing to keep in mind, you know what I mean? I've got all these thoughts in my mind. Obviously, like I said, we're far from making the change, but you know, it's a thought process. It's a thought process. I would like some input from everybody, if you would like. Yeah, just give me your ideas, your thoughts. Would you recommend it? Would you not recommend it? Yeah, like I said, I might do it, I might not do it. I'm still on the contemplating stages, let's say, of the whole thought process. If you ask me on a theoretical basis, if I was going to go ahead and do it, how will I go about doing it? I will say possibly sell my bike first on whatever price I can get from it, then have a look to see what other bikes available are. We're talking about used bikes, maybe from private user. I don't think I'm going to go to the dealers because the price goes much higher. So I'm guessing, if you ask me, that's about how the whole thing is going to go down. For me to go in, for example, and go and trade the bike for something else, yeah, I don't think I'm going to get as much money as I can by selling it by myself, you know what I mean? So the whole idea is, if I do go through it, possibly sell my bike, see how much money I can get for it, and then start browsing for used bikes, something like that. Anyway, if you have any suggestions, or if you're close to me in Greece and you're selling a bike, yeah, let me know. Or maybe if you want to buy this bike, the R6. Anyway, I'd like to thank everybody for your time, and I'll bid you goodbye. Thank you very, very much. Bye bye.